Hello everybody, welcome back to Hunting Mark. I'm Cameron Porter. We're coming to you today from the shack at our favorite shooting range. We had grand plans for the day. We actually booked out the entire range all to ourselves for today to get this shooting done. And lo and behold, a freak winter snowstorm blew in right at the beginning of spring. So here we are, happy April or May or whenever you happen to be watching this. Hopefully it's warmer where you are than where it is here. For today, what we want to do, one of the things that we want to do today is talk about binoculars. So binoculars, they have a lot of numbers associated with them and telling you what kind of binoculars they are. And if you don't know what those numbers mean, it's hard to pick the right ones. So we're going to go over that. So every pair of binoculars that you see will have a number with an X and then another number. It'll be something, number by number or number X number. To describe the binoculars. So we're going to talk about what those numbers mean. That first number, so let's say in the case of these binoculars here, the numbers are 10 by 50, right? So you can see that right there, 10x 50. That first number is a reference to the magnification. It's a 10x magnification, which means that something that appears to be 1 inch tall from wherever it is, theoretically would be about 10 inches tall if you looked at it through this, would appear 10 inches tall. So it brings it closer by a factor of 10x. That's what that first number means. So if you're looking at something that is 100 yards away, it'll appear as if it's only 10 yards away. That's basically how the math works. The second number is a little bit harder to understand. In this case, it's 50. What that's referring to is the diameter of this lens. This is called the objective lens, and that 50 millimeter number is the diameter of these lenses. The reason why that's important is because the size of the objective lens is a big factor in determining how much light can actually enter the binoculars, and so therefore how bright the image is going to appear that reaches your eyes out of the ocular lenses. So the larger this is, the more light will come through. And that plays a really important role because the more magnification that there is, the more the things are getting constricted and less light's going to pass through anyway. So if you have a 10 by 20 millimeter set of binoculars, your image that you see won't be as bright as it is with this set because it's 10 by 50. And similarly, if you get a really high-powered set of binoculars that are 25x, you're going to want really big objective lenses, the bigger the better in that case, so that you have more light. Now typically that also makes them more expensive, so of course you got to weigh that with your budget, but that's what the first two numbers mean and why they matter. So you're going to see some other numbers associated with binoculars. Different ways of measuring their capabilities. You'll see things like field of view. Now you might think that you can infer field of view by magnification, but that's not always true. There are some variations. Now field of view just is talking about how wide you can see from edge to edge. So how much is visible from edge to edge in what you're seeing through the binoculars. And that obviously changes based on how far away you are, but it might have a degree measurement, or it might have a figure listed of how many feet wide the field of view is at, say, 100 yards. That's fairly common. So look for that, and the wider field of view, typically the easier it will be to find whatever you're looking for in the binoculars. It's usually a more pleasant viewing experience, the wider the field of view is, so you can look for that. Another thing that you can look for is minimum focus distance. Now, and what that refers to is how close can an object physically be and you can still focus in on it using the binoculars and see it sharply and clearly. Another thing you might see is eye relief. This isn't super important with binoculars because you just hold them wherever you need to hold them, but what eye relief is measuring is the distance that your eyes need to be from the ocular lenses of the binoculars in order to get a complete picture. So do you need to be this close? Do you need to be this close? Do you need to be this close? This close? That's what eye relief is measuring. So you can look for that. It is a comfort thing. If you have to be really, really, really close so that it's jamming into your face, it's not as comfortable to look through, obviously. But those are things that you'll find. You just got to find something that's up to your comfort level. And if you're not sure, you can find a friend that has a set of binoculars that you could try out to kind of give yourself a baseline of what works for you and what's comfortable. So hopefully that explanation was helpful on choosing binoculars and getting the right binoculars for your use case. If not, we actually have an article on huntingmark.com that goes through all of this in even more detail. So feel free to check out that article. It covers just about everything you might need to know about the numbers that you'll see associated with binoculars. So head over there to check that out, and you can also see some product links of binoculars that we recommend that can serve well for different purposes. So thanks for checking out this video. We will catch you next time. I'm Cameron Porter.